What's up everybody, see you again on the Fake MMA News. Again, we will inform you the latest news from the MMF special UFC. And just listen.
In MMA, a fighter's chin refers to their ability to absorb hard shots without getting knocked down or knocked out. Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira are two elite UFC fighters with vastly different styles, but both have shown a remarkable ability to survive under pressure. The question is, whose chin is truly more durable? Ilia Topuria has built a reputation as an explosive striker with serious knockout power and elite reflexes. Since entering the UFC, he has remained unbeaten and has yet to be visibly hurt or dropped. In his fight against Josh Emmett, a known power puncher, Topuria absorbed several hard shots and remained completely unfazed, dominating the fight with confidence and control. Topuria's most impressive display of chin strength came against Max Holloway at UFC 308. Holloway, known for overwhelming volume and precision, landed clean combinations throughout the fight. Yet, Topuria walked through them and delivered a devastating knockout in the third round. It was a performance that confirmed not only his power, but his capacity to take punishment and stay dangerous. Charles Oliveira, on the other hand, has had a longer and more turbulent journey. Earlier in his career, he suffered TKO losses to fighters like Max Holloway and Paul Felder. But since his rise to the top of the lightweight division, Oliveira has shown a stronger chin and much better recovery skills, proving he's more than capable of withstanding brutal exchanges. A clear example of this was his fight against Michael Chandler. Oliveira was rocked hard in the first round and looked close to being finished. But he held on, recovered during the break, and came out in the second round with a shocking KO. His ability to bounce back quickly from danger has become one of his trademarks. He's also survived huge shots from Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. In both cases, he was dropped early but managed to recover, recompose himself, and submit his opponents. While Oliveira gets hit more often than Topuria, he seems nearly impossible to keep down, which speaks volumes about his mental toughness and fight IQ. From a statistical point of view, Topuria has never been knocked down in the UFC, while Oliveira has several knockdowns on record. However, it's worth noting that some of Oliveira's knockdowns may have been tactical, luring opponents into his lethal ground game. This blurs the line between weakness and strategy when analyzing his chin. Topuria fights with a fearlessness that suggests total belief in his chin and defense. He stays in the pocket against dangerous strikers without flinching, using calculated aggression to break down his opponents. That confidence only adds to the perception of his chin being nearly unbreakable. Oliveira, by contrast, embraces chaos. He's willing to take damage in order to find openings, especially to drag opponents into grappling exchanges. His fights are often wild, but his recoverability and composure make him just as dangerous hurt as he is fresh. While Topuria may have the stronger raw chin, Oliveira has proven he can survive hell and still win. The real intrigue in a matchup between them lies in whether Topuria's power can break through Oliveira's battle-hardened resilience, or whether Topuria, for the first time, will be forced to prove the true strength of his own chin. Now it's your turn. Who has the better chin? Topuria, who's never been dropped, or Oliveira, who always rises from the ashes? Let the debate begin in the comments. Every UFC defeat in Charles Oliveira's career explained. Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira, the record holder for most submissions in UFC history, is one of the most thrilling fighters the Octagon has ever seen. With a career marked by highlight reel finishes and dramatic comebacks, he has also endured tough losses that shaped his journey. Here's a detailed look at every time Oliveira came up short in the UFC, from his first loss to his most recent. 1. Jim Miller, submission loss, UFC 124, 2010. In just his third UFC fight, a young and still developing Oliveira faced veteran grappler Jim Miller. The bout ended quickly when Miller caught Oliveira in a slick knee bar submission in the first round. It was Oliveira's first professional defeat and a harsh reality check in the deep waters of the lightweight division.
Correct technique is to use his right foot and try to kick those legs free, and try to kick the hands free.
2. Donald Cerrone, TKO loss, UFC on vs. 5 2011. Moving forward from his first loss, Oliveira ran into Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone, a seasoned striker with a ruthless finishing instinct. Cerrone overwhelmed Oliveira with a barrage of strikes, stopping him with a first-round TKO. It was Oliveira's first knockout loss and highlighted the need to improve his striking defense.
Well, listen, there's a lot of hype on this kid, and there's a lot of hype on you, and it's deserved, and I can't wait to see you perform.
3. Cub Swanson, KO loss, UFC 152, 2012. Dropping down to featherweight, Oliveira looked to reset his career, but was met by Cub Swanson. In under 3 minutes, Swanson landed a powerful right hand that knocked Oliveira out cold. It was a brutal, clean knockout that emphasized how dangerous the featherweight power punchers could be.
Beautiful job by Cub Swanson.
4. Frankie Edgar, unanimous decision loss, UFC 162, 2013. Against former lightweight champion Frankie Edgar, Oliveira fought hard and showed flashes of brilliance. However, Edgar's pace, wrestling, and experience proved too much across 3 rounds. Although it ended in a unanimous decision loss, the fight showed Oliveira could hang with elite-level competition.
Gonna get a takedown, yeah. Wow.
Frankie, the answer, Edgar!
5. Max Holloway, TKO via injury, UFC Fight Night 74, 2015. In a highly anticipated bout, Oliveira faced Max Holloway, but the fight ended abruptly due to a freak neck injury Oliveira sustained during a grappling exchange. Holloway was awarded a TKO win, but the unusual nature of the stoppage left questions unanswered about how the fight might have played out.
He's holding something.
Anthony Pettis, submission loss, UFC on Fox 21, 2016. Returning to action against former lightweight champ Anthony Pettis, Oliveira engaged in a competitive and scrappy fight. However, in the 3rd round, he was caught in a tight guillotine choke and forced to tap. The bout marked another high-profile loss against a top-tier opponent with strong jiu-jitsu credentials.
Looking for the submission.
He's got an excellent guillotine. Both legs.
It is all over!
Hashar 7. Ricardo Lamas, submission loss, Tough Latin America 3 finale 2016. Just 3 months after the Pettis fight, Oliveira stepped in against Ricardo Lamas and again fell to a guillotine choke. After a strong start, Oliveira was caught while attempting a takedown. The back-to-back submission losses prompted Oliveira to move back up to the lightweight division, where his frame and durability were better suited.
Tap out to the guillotine choke!
8. Paul Felder, TKO loss, UFC 218, 2017. Oliveira's return to lightweight did not begin as hoped. Against Paul Felder, he had early success with grappling, but was eventually overwhelmed by Felder's ground and pound. Brutal elbows in the 2nd round ended the fight, handing Oliveira one of the most physically punishing defeats of his career. 9. Islam Makhachev, submission loss, UFC 280, 2022. Riding an 11-fight win streak and having previously held the belt, Oliveira faced Islam Makhachev for the vacant lightweight title. Makhachev dominated the fight with pressure and control, ultimately submitting Oliveira with an arm triangle choke in round 2. It was a decisive loss that marked the end of Oliveira's championship reign. Hashar 10. Arman Tsarukyan, split decision loss, UFC 300, 2025. In a razor-close contest at UFC 300, Oliveira squared off against surging contender Arman Tsarukyan. The fight was competitive, with Oliveira showcasing aggressive jiu-jitsu and striking, but the judges awarded Tsarukyan the split decision. Many fans debated the result, with some feeling Oliveira had done enough to win. Oliveira's UFC loss summary. Total UFC losses: 10 KO/TKO defeats, 4 submission defeats, 3 decision losses, 3. Has Charles Oliveira's time at the top passed, or does Do Bronx have one more title run left in him? Share your take below. Is Oliveira still a threat in the lightweight division, or is the new wave taking over?